Alright, I went through my little collection of small screws here and came up with a bunch of these that'll work. Whoop. Anyway, I got a bunch that'll work, but I want to just caution you that these screws that I'm using aren't steel, so I'm pre-drilling all these, and then one other thing I want to show you is they have to be put in with a hand driver, otherwise you're going to have trouble. So once I get this one in here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so that's down and ready to go, and I got to get these screws out of this channel. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. This 1/4-inch bolt, they all have these maker's mark on them, I guess I'll call it. But they got little ridges. I'm going to buff that off so that when it slides in the channel here, it'll be less likely to bind on the bottom. You can kind of feel it as you're sliding it along. Even though it's not running into those screw heads, I'm gonna soften that bottom up a little bit. And I'm also gonna take and make these just a little bit thinner. I'm gonna take a little bit off of this as well. So this head, it gives this head just a little bit more clearance. Alright, back to the big picture here. I've got some bolts here with some nuts, and I want to see how this is going to work for me. I took and polished these. Took the polish off the, those maker marks off the back and thinned them up just a little bit. So get those slid into place here. Looks like I'm missing one washer somewhere. Yeah, we'll find that. Okay, got a washer. There we go. Now these are just regular nuts. There's not a lock washer underneath here or anything either. I don't think I'm going to need it. I think this is going to have plenty of bite. And it doesn't take much to lock it down anyway. It's just like a 1/4 turn and that thing is going to be rock solid. Come on the other side here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I want to do is just snug them up, even with finger tight. You can see that it's pretty close to not moving. Now I just loosened them just a 1/8 of a turn. That's not enough. There it is. That is going to be sweet. Be able to put this wherever I want it. And if I take these two out and put them back here, which I think I might end up doing because I need to extend it closer to my table saw. I'll figure that out. To the blade, I should say. But that's going to be nice. So I'm going to lock it down right here. My wrench. Nice. I only gave that about 1/4 of a turn and that baby is locked. Alright, I'm gonna put my positioner back in here. Check out my relationship to my table saw there. But as far as I'm concerned, that baby is good to go. Oh, no, I don't either. I thought I had it on back. I do have it on backwards. I wonder if she won't go together. Oh. There we go. All right, let me reposition the camera. And we'll take a look at how this locks and works. Works like a charm. Locked. Solid as ever. And you got to remember, you know, there's not a lot of pressure against this fence when you're using it on the router, and when I'm going to use it in conjunction with the table saw, there's not a lot of pressure on that either. But it locks and she's good and solid. I like it. So I'm going to bring this back here. about to there. We'll loosen the bolts up, slide it up toward my table saw, and see where it lands, you know, in relation to this bolt being at this point right here. It's, you know, I lose about 3 inches, but I want to see, I just want to see what that relationship is. So let me adjust it here and be right back. Actually, there's some things I got to put away. You don't see this mess over here. So once I get that put away, then we'll be back. Just moved it into position. Registered it along, you know, parallel to my miter slot, and that's how long it took me. That is going to be nice. Thanks for watching. Wrong button. After putting my box joint jig on, I can see that, I can see that with the bolt pattern, the way the bolts are sitting on that LS positioner is going to be just fine. I don't need this extra 3 inches. So, right here is about where I'd like to start, and I'm within a half an inch of that. Let me see what I can gain here. There's 0. So I'm within probably 3/8 of where I was before, which will be fine. I still have plenty of capacity to do what I want to do, and the jig works just fine. So if I wanted to use it as a rip fence, which I don't intend on doing, I would have that. I would then have to move this up to get close to flush with the blade. But this is my primary use for it, the box joint jig, and then router work would be back here, you know. But I can swap back and forth now in a minute and a half. So that to me is a great improvement on what I had before. All right, now I'm done. Thanks for watching. See ya.